No deal.
Brought to you by Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment throughout the western United States. For over 65 years, Brady Industries Clean Solutions, a tradition for generations. Number 1.
Big deal, no deal. Hugging is now a thing in the BYU-Utah rivalry. Come on, guys, bring it in.
That's all right.
Group hug.
No deal. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to be the two head coaches, and that's great. I don't think there's going to be a lot of players hugging. I don't think the fans will be hugging, but the most visible pair will be. No deal.
I say this is a big deal because it exemplifies something that is changing in the rivalry in year number 1 under Kalani Sitake. The psychological advantage that Utah was using against BYU when Bronco Mendenhall was the coach, because it was just another game, is no longer there. So I'm with Blaine Fowler. The fact that they're hugging and that it's not as weird as it used to be from the coach's standpoint kind of bleeds down. So I think this is a big deal because it affects how people will now approach this game. Rivalry's still there, but it's different. Number 2.
Hug it out.
Big deal, no deal. Jamal Williams carrying the ball 29 times against Arizona.
That's way too many, Jerome.
No deal. It was that one game. He's not going to average 29 for the whole season. It was what was needed in that moment. We didn't see much of Squally Canada. Algernon Brown's still there. I mean, BYU's leading rush from last year is always an option. I mentioned we might see him a little more on Saturday. I'll go no deal on this. This is just one game.
Depending on how you look at it, I'm with you. 29 times, yeah, it seems like a lot. It's no deal because it's what the defense was allowing BYU to do. It is a big deal that Jamal Williams was so successful in those 29 carries, however. We'll see how many totes he gets against Utah on Saturday night. Number 3.
Totes?
Yes.
Totes Cray.
Totes Cray, my brother.
Totes Cray, man.
No, I didn't say that. I said totes. How many times you will tote the rock?
How many times will BYU defense totes sack against Utah? Because big deal, no deal. BYU defense recording 4 sacks in their first game.
I think that's a big deal. BYU is able to get to the quarterback. That will be a key in this game. It will be an even bigger key in the next game against UCLA, against Josh Rosen, who is very flustered under pressure. I think it's a big deal that BYU got 4 sacks in this new defense in game 1.
Well, fancy that. The most overrated team in the country has the most overhyped quarterback in the country as well.
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
super weird.
He's really good.
I didn't say he wasn't really good. I just said that he's overhyped.
He was doing this to the Texas A&M crowd on the last drive. What?
Really?
What?
Really? Don't do it. Just don't. You're setting yourself up to just be absolutely crushed.
We'll get into that next week.
I say this is a big deal because BYU's defense really showed me some things against Arizona with a new-look defense. They exceeded my expectations in terms of the number of sacks they got against a mobile quarterback. I thought that was really good. Number 4.
Big deal, no deal. BYU being ranked 10 spots, a.k.a. Jerem, 35th outside the AP Top 25.
No deal. Being on the door or in is what is a big deal. To me, 10 out's not knocking on the door. If BYU beats Utah, they'll be knocking on the door. They'll be right outside, and then they'll be in a position to if they beat UCLA, get in. If BYU wins the Pac-12 South, they're a top 20 team. That would be a big deal. So I go no deal on this.
I say big deal because I wasn't expecting BYU to receive any votes. Honestly, I was surprised.
Like 0 votes?
I was surprised.
Interesting.
I was like, wow, okay.
Probably 4 or 5 people having them at 25th, right?
Yeah, I think that's interesting. The fact that somebody says, I think they're good enough to be a top 25 team, and multiple people at that. Like, if it were one vote, yeah, okay. But it was multiple people to think BYU deserves at least to be 25th. So I say that's a big deal. Number 5.
So I got to lean really forward on this one because my arms are short. Big deal, no deal. Jonah Tranamans' T-Rex arms.
Big deal.
First of all, his forearms are huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. We're like, holy shnikes. Yes, this is a big deal because I've never heard of anyone cramping up in their arms. And so he said he got, what, a pint?
A pint IV in each arm.
In each arm. Then he comes back out, and he balls out to the point where he's an integral part of the team and makes 2 catches on that game-winning drive. I think that's a big deal.
Yes, let's make it about Jonah Tranamans' arms, whether they're T-Rex or not, because it is a big deal. Okay?
The rest of the year we're going to
yes.
Jonah T-Rex arms Tranamans.
T-Rex Tranamans on the Revenge Tour 2016. It's a big deal because he's BYU's go-to receiver, at least through week 1. Let's keep him healthy, man. Big deal, no. Let's keep him healthy, man. My
So you
John
went into
Gruden,
John Gruden
My
there.
John Gruden almost came out right
Listen,
there.
Jonah Tranamans, he's got T-Rex arms, but he's a good receiver out for the BYU Cougars, man.
I tell you what, Tarico, I like that Jonah Trinaman. He's really good, man.
McDonough, your head's super bald,
Yeah,
man.
Tarico, huh?
I'm making a lot of money here.
Brady Industries brought to you by Clean Solutions, a tradition for generations.